Gentlemen, first, thank you so much for speaking with me. And I gotta say, right off the top, I am so happy to talk to the both of you because having the chance to see this film, The Umbrella Men, I thought was amazing, fascinating, fun, historic in some ways, and so many great things that I got a chance to see. First, John, I want to jump over to you. How does it feel having your film at the Toronto International Film Festival?
The dream come true. I was very lucky to screen Bunny Chow a long, long time ago in Toronto. Cameron Bailey was then a very young man programming, and he selected Bunny Chow, right? And honestly, since then, I've been trying to get back to Toronto. So, it's been 15 years of wanting to make this film, and then the cherry on the top was the fact that we got so excited for all the people that have been involved for a long time, and the young actors like Jaques, just for them to see what Toronto is like. So yeah, it's fantastic.
John, for folks who are wondering, The Umbrella Men, it could be so many different things. It could be a spy film. It could be, when you hear the name of it, like I said, it could be so many different things, but it's actually something very different and something very clever. And of course, it deals with something that I love so much, music. What is this film about, sir?
This to me, not to Jacques, right?
No, sorry, John. What's this film about? My apologies.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I mean, this film is about a troupe of musicians, and you'll love this because it's not the A team or the B team or the C team. It's like the D team of robbers. You know, they're musicians who love their nightclub, and they're like, well, we're not going to get this taken away from us. We love it. We need it. It feeds the troops. It feeds the minstrels at the end of every year. So with our backs to the wall, we do something we don't normally do. You know, we're musicians. We're going to go and rob a bank. So the comedy lies in there, and it's about these guys who are not bank robbers, but who are so desperate and love their culture so much and music so much that they are prepared to basically go to that, but they fight their night.
John, where did the story come from?
Well, I love the genre. I love heist and caper genre. And whenever we were traveling with Bunny Chow, people in the States were always like, "Oh my goodness, I didn't know you had music festivals in South Africa." Like, well, we have a lot of. I was like, well, we have this beautiful old carnival. It's been going for like 200 years, and it's steeped in beautiful history, and it's about freedom. So I thought I would take my favorite genre, which is paper, and I would use the minstrel, the carnival for that. So kind of that's where, and then over 50 years, the strip changed so many times, and it meandered and moved and changed, and so many wonderful things. But that, in essence, that's what it's about a bunch of musicians who's trying to.
Jacques, I'm going to throw you into this first, my friend. Again, congratulations on this great film. Can you talk about your character because your character is the main focus, and he really goes through a lot of different things. Because to me, this film just isn't about the music, the bank robbery and everything else. It's about legacy, family, and relations as well. And your character is really the focus on those three things.
Yeah, so and I want to add to that list identity. It's about who am I and who are we as a people, and so to be able to find your place within that is I think Jerome's journey, is Jerome's his main search is who am I in the context of a father with a name in a community where the expectation is high that he's going to follow a path. And I think that's something that we can all relate to, right? Is that thing of going, no, I'm going to forge my own path. I'm going to make my own name, and I'm going to find what it is that makes me my own name. And the beautiful journey of the story is where he finds his name, he finds his identity in going back to his roots, in investing in where he comes from. In a sense of community rather than as an individual, as society is kind of shepherding us towards. It's going, it's family values, it's community, it's who are we as a people. I am because you are.
And not just that, too. It's also who's got your back, because you really do find out who your friends are, who's going to stick up for you, and who will do whatever it takes to make sure dreams happen.
Absolutely. And what is so delicious to watch or to discover as an actor for me was the relationships and how they play out.
Yes.
Is that thing of, yeah, exactly. Who's got my back? And discovering that again, of going, of being so self-involved about going, I am going to become this thing that you focus, that the focus is on you as an individual. And then as an actor, to be able to just look around and see who's there to play with as a character, yeah, that's where the fun happens.
Is that what attracted you to this role? What was the things that you really enjoyed about playing this character?
The other than so working with John in particular was very, very exciting for me. But also it is a story about a marginalized community, a community where when stories are told about them, it is as gangsters who come out of Polesmore, as prisoners, as thieves and robbers and vagabonds. Like, so to have a story of to show the rich diversity in culture, in history, in to see a love story of a community that is referred to as the colored community. That name and that title has an identity that we have built an identity around being colored, and often it is not seen on South African screens, and I don't know how it is represented internationally, whether or not we feature. So that was very important to me, and to explore the area of the Boerkaap and Cape Town as a character, and as a character seen from our perspective is what was important for me.
John, what were some of the difficulties in filming this? Because I'm assuming this was filmed during the pandemic. What were some of the tough parts? And again, I don't want to give too much away. We did talk about that. This is about breaking into a bank. Was that scene difficult to do too? I want people to see how this goes, because when I saw what the actors were doing, I just went, wow. I would be, let's just say, I'd be like, yeah, no, leave me over there kind of thing.
The actors were fantastic. I mean, it was very tough. We were shooting during the pandemic. We had compliance officers on set watching us anytime someone coughed. The tough thing too is when you're on such a small, independent like we are, in terms of what hosts are made and these paper films, this really is small indie budget. Everything is critical, every cent and every day. And the fear was that 3 weeks into the film, I got flu symptoms. I started coughing and I started and we had a discussion with the producer, with the compliance officer, going, he noticed that I was sneezing, and he was like, "We've got to test John." But the thing is that on the budget we had, I had got COVID. If I was positive and we stopped shooting, it would have killed the entire budget. In fact, we might not have even made the film and finished. It was so crucial that we kept everybody on set. So there was this, we were so happy to be on set. We all had masks. We had compliance officers watching us. So we were stressed about not getting sick, but it was also just such an amazing sense of like, we've all got to do that. We've all got to make it. So it was tense, but it was still really cool. And then on top of that, what our actors had to go through, they're so amazing. Like Jaques, because of the low budget again, we didn't have, like, for the tunnel scenes, those are big, massive, like dodgy tunnels under the city. I mean, they're old, and the moss, like what you don't see, is on the floor. The water's running through those tunnels, and there's moss all the way up the sides of the wall. So everyone was slipping in the moss. There were snakes. We found there was a snake on the wall. There were cockroaches. There was rats. It was like crazy, and there were so many female crew members with us. I was so proud of everybody, because we were in this tunnel for the whole day, and it smelled. I mean, the smells that were drifting through there, and the actors trying to act, and the crew trying to shoot, and people slipping on moss and snakes, and it was crazy. That was just one day, and we should have shot that over 2 days, but that was one day, whole day underneath the tunnel. We didn't see the sun except for a small lunch break. So lots of stories of this pulling through and doing amazing.
Jacques, what was that like to do with what John just talked about?
So this was my first film production. So in my mind, isn't it always like this?
Oh my God.
I was going, we're in the wars, baby. We're making films. Woo! This is it. I've made it. Mama.
Oh my goodness. You know what? I am definitely watching this film with new eyes. John, as we're slowly wrapping this up, you know, when people hear about this film, I think I know for myself, the first thing I thought of when I first heard about it, and then of course when I watched it, it became completely different, was like an Ocean's 11. What do you want to make sure that people know about this film so their minds don't go to that, because it is something completely different, even though there might be a slight, you know, theme that might be slightly the same?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny that you bring up Ocean's 11, because the joke we always said is that when people said, "Oh, we're doing a house film in Cape Town," they all go, "Oh, like Ocean's 11," and we go, "No, we've got the Ocean's 11 catering budget for our budget. You know, that's not we have." So no, I mean, look, it is. I love the heist and the caper genre, and I think it's important to get all of those elements across when you're telling that genre, because there are people that go, "Okay, cool, it's a heist film," and you know they want to be satisfied. They obviously love heist films, and they love the pace. But why it's more of a caper, because the characters are slightly more offbeat. They're not hardcore guys in heat, etc. They're more fun characters, like we said. They're musicians, and there's certain comedy in there. But we did have to stick to the rules and the beats in caper and heist. But I think that what people will see is the community that's a different community that they've seen before. Or like Jacques was saying, it's always in a very negative light. It's very positive. This highlights the comedy and the camaraderie between the people in this community. So I think that's quite a fresh take on that, and I think people that love heist and caper will find it very interesting. The community they're not used to or not familiar with, going through the years that the 11 guys go through. You know, big obstacles you've got to come against the clock. Who's the puppeteer, always throwing up many obstacles for them to overcome. The fact that they're musicians and not robbers, I think the audience will go, "We're rooting for these guys. We want these guys to get the buck."
I agree. And Jacques, as you wrap this up, what do you hope that fans are going to get when they see this amazing film?
I suppose I'm the most excited that we are able to share some of our culture, some of our history, some of our heritage, and I hope that people are excited about South Africa, excited about Cape Town. That come on over, come see, come play, come and watch our stories. Because we have stories to tell.
Yeah, just don't go to the tunnels. Just do not go near the tunnels. Gentlemen, thank you so much for this interview. Congratulations on this great film, and congratulations for this film screening at the Toronto International Film Festival. Thank you again, guys.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, Rudy.